Hello, my name is Linnea. I'm just here to give you a good informative speech about tropical fish and how to care for them, how difficult it really is to care for any type of fish. During this speech, we will just discuss in more detail of the aquarium fish. There are 3 different categories of aquarium fish, which narrow down into freshwater, saltwater, and coral reef fish. I worked really hard to gather up all this information so that I could inform you good tips and all the different types of fish that are in these categories. So first we'll talk about freshwater fish, and these are the easiest fish to care for. And the most popular freshwater fish is the Cory catfish. They're super easy to care for. All freshwater fish really need is a good sized tank. Usually the rule on how big of an aquarium to get is 1 inch a gallon. So if you've got a 4-inch fish and you have to calculate how much, because if you get one that's too small, your fish will die. You also have to make sure to look at what types of fish you're getting for freshwater fish, because some are very aggressive and some are very peaceful. The more aggressive ones, if you mix them together, will attack the little ones, the non-aggressive ones, because the non-aggressive ones will obviously just sit there and take it. So it's really good to do as much research as you can on the types of fish that you're getting. I didn't know that when I first got mine. I went through like 5 different fish tanks before I finally got what was right, because it's a lot harder to take care of fish than you think it's really going to be. But you got to do research on what types of food the fish eat, so that you're not getting 100 different fancy fish that don't eat the same thing and then half of them die. And a lot of times too, if you get like angelfish, if you get more than one of them, they'll attack each other. But they're okay if you have just one of them in there. Males and males just like to fight for females, so it never ends very well. And also with freshwater tanks, you gotta make sure that you're checking the water chemistry. So you have to do, your pH levels and the temperatures and making sure everything's okay. And you also have to do what's called a water change, where you take out like a good 75% of the water and then you mix it back in with more water. That way you don't have to keep taking out all the fish when you clean the tank, because that's bad for your fish too. So the second type of aquarium fish is saltwater fish. Most saltwater fish are captured from the wild, I found out, because a lot of them are very hard to breed in captivity. Though saltwater tropical fish are very bright and very beautiful, they are extremely difficult to care for unless you have a lot of experience or have done a lot of research. Because you have to make sure you're getting the right type of water. They obviously need salt water, and they can't have fresh, tap water, which is why freshwater are so easier to take care of, because you're not spending so much money on water. But you have to make sure there's enough salt and not too much salt in the water. And some saltwater fish need more salt than other saltwater fish, so you gotta really be careful about how you're mixing those fish too. Because they're very hard to keep these fish alive. So last but not least, we have the coral reef tropical fish. Just as it sounds, these fish are fish that live among coral reefs in the ocean. They're a lot more bright than most They're still a saltwater fish, but they live in coral reefs like this one here. Very beautiful colors, a lot going on. And coral reefs are good places for them to hide. And certain coral reef fish would be like on Finding Nemo. You know, Nemo, the clownfish, they hide in their anemones to save them from, because they're very susceptible to predators. So then they can hide a little better, and it's so bright and vivid it matches their colors so that they can hide a lot easier. And hundreds of species can actually live in just a small, tiny amount of a coral reef. So in just this little amount in here, there can be hundreds and hundreds that just live together in harmony. They're very peaceful, beautiful fish. Yeah, so they use those to hide there, and that's kind of my overview on the 3 different species of tropical fish.